Wow, well, I say I am. Hey,
where you come with this recorded up?
Alright. Oh, sorry about that.
My goodness.
take it easy.
Take it easy.
There goes the X-Men
There goes
1.
the dog.
There goes the dog. So, you ready, hon?
Yeah.
Alright. How many people we got online right now?
6.
Awesome, that's great. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Otto's Grotto, featuring 3 Men in a Basement. This is the Friday night freestyle special coming at you live and direct. We have tons of stuff to talk about, tons of geekness, tons of comic book stuff. To my right, with the new Han Solo movie coming out, I definitely have Chewie. He has paid the life debt. He is working it all off over here.
Thanks, everybody.
We have the executive producer, the Lando Calrissian of this Millennium Falcon. So
At least it wasn't Jabba the Hutt.
At least it wasn't Jabba the Hutt. So we've got tons of stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to go probably 60 to 75 minutes. So we are on...
we can only go 60.
Well, we only go on 60 minutes on Instagram.
We're going to shoot for 60. We'll see how it
We'll
goes.
shoot for 60. We'll see what happens.
Cut off again.
Yeah, no, we're going to go live on YouTube also. So we are live on YouTube. I don't think we have anybody on YouTube right now, but that's okay. That'll happen. So I just want everybody to know the technical difficulties that we've been having. I think it's because my son has been on Fortnite sucking out
You need to reset your
the
modem.
Wi-Fi, right?
Did you reset
So
the modem?
If you have a child out there and
Yeah.
he asks you, can I buy Fortnite?
Yeah.
Say no.
Yeah.
It's like crack.
Right.
I can't get my son off.
They're on it all the
they
time.
Come home. They used to come home from school, play basketball. Now
Right.
he comes home from school, plays
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Minecraft before
it
that.
was Minecraft.
Yeah,
right?
but
Yeah.
they didn't
Call of
play
Duty.
online like they do
Yeah.
Fortnite.
For me,
All
it's
right,
Call
we got
of Duty.
Scrapper.
I mean, Nemesis
Scrapper's
plays
on.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
All right. So,
Mama Vec.
Mama Vec's out, so that's awesome. So listen, so this is going to be a great talk. We've got lots of things going on. We have raffle wins. We have huge pickups. Pat's picked up a whole short box.
Since
Roger's
the
got some.
last
show.
It's the last show. Roger.
Got a short box
Short
since
box
the
is
last show, which was a week ago.
Yeah, Roger's got some
it's
stuff for CGC that he wants to talk about.
Yeah.
But I want to give a huge shout out right now to Zozo's Arena on the camera. And so we say hi to everybody.
Filling in for Heavy Rose.
Heavy Rose. She's busy right now. So we have had a great week in movies. All right, Black Panther has come out. 2 out of 3 of us have seen it. We're going to talk about it for a couple of minutes. But we all know the first appearance of Black Panther was FF52 right here. FF52 was done by Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, and Joe Sinnott. What's very unique about this book is at somewhere around the 45s to 50s, Joe Sinnott started inking Jack Kirby's work. And at that time, if you're following the FF in the earlier years, Joe Sinnott really changed with his shadowing the way the thing looks compared to Jack Kirby. So there's a huge transition, and Joe Sinnott, oh, absolutely. You can look at his stuff and you can look at his work and his shading. He's a lot more rocky. The original thing in the early episodes was more like kind of chunky as
Yeah.
And this was because Joe Sinnott came along and did that. Joe Sinnott is definitely in his in his golden years. If you ever get a chance to meet him, 90s, yeah. If you ever get a chance to meet him, please do. He's a great guy.
Still alive?
Still alive, man.
I don't know.
He was at Rhode Island, yeah.
Oh.
So he's a great guy,
Still elated over your first black cat win.
Yeah. So side story from the car. So I saw Black Panther.
I want to tell a funny story about.
You do.
I read.
Okay.
So something I read that came out. The whole all these articles come out, and they were saying that when Kirby created the Black Panther, when they were making the Black Panther book, they came to him and said, "You need to have more white people in it."
Yeah. Okay.
So the very next book, the Black Panther fought the KKK.
Oh, really?
And that's how he did that. I think that's great.
There you go. I think that's great. That's absolutely. No, that's great. So Black Panther came out 2 hours and 15 minutes. I gave it a CGC 9.4. I gave it a very high rating. Pat, what grade did you give it?
I gave it a 9.6.
You gave it a 9.6. Okay.
Wow.
I loved it.
Right.
That is the
So-
first time you went that high with a movie.
I know.
Negative.
What'd you give? What?
I think Logan.
Oh, yeah.
Logan.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
Right. Logan was very high.
You're right.
So, guys, we're gonna watch the chat right now. Ryder's gonna watch it. If you've seen Black Panther, give us your CGC rating, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it. And what I liked and what I didn't like about it, and some things that were important. So,
I didn't. Go ahead.
what's that, so?
Do the villain thing.
Do the villain thing, right?
You
villain
got
thing.
all confused.
I saw
Yes.
it, so I'm moving in.
Right. So, the villain I have always said in a good movie, right? In a good movie, you have to have a strong villain. And if you don't have a strong villain, you better have one hell of a leading actor who can carry the movie, i.e. Ant-Man, right? Paul Rudd, great character. Michael Douglas, A-list actor. Villain, not so much.
Who is it?
Right? Yellowjacket.
Yeah.
Awful. No substance. So going into this movie, I thought Claw was going to be the main villain. I actually thought...
Fett says he liked it.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Deadpool who could join.
And I don't consider Killmonger... I don't consider Killmonger... well, he was the villain.
Right, but I didn't see Killmonger coming, so...
He was like a twisted villain.
Yes, exactly.
Walker's
So
used it at 8.0.
8.0, okay, all right.
I was cheering for Killmonger.
You was, okay. So... Getting
Nemesis
back,
primed as a 6.5.
Yeah, Nemesis Prime. Well, it's on a DC. It's on a DC movie.
It's DC. It's not a variant.
I did like Justice League, though. I did like Justice League.
Right,
so
we did talk about that.
I can't.
So let me just.
Bullock is 9.4.
9.4. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about the three villains. We had Claw, we had Killmonger, and Man-Ape. Right.
Man-Ape wasn't a villain.
Right, but in the comic, he traditionally is a nemesis to Black Panther. So I thought that's what they were going to go. So there was a whole twist that happened, which really took me by storm, and I really, really like that. Claw, to me, now I remember Claw from the Secret Wars books. Now, if you remember the Secret Wars books, you remember that Claw was a punk, he sucked. So that's what I expected. Oh, my God. Yeah, but he was good. He was crazy. He was talked about SoundCloud. He was there. Yeah. I didn't expect it to go the direction that he had, but my biggest gripe, you hear it right here, right now, from Otto's Grotto. His arm, right, his synthetic arm was wrong. It was his left arm in the movie. In the comic book, it was his right arm. And his right arm was the claw where he did the sound from.
Seriously?
Yes, I'm telling you,
Why is
100%. What's that?
Do you have visual proof?
I don't want to bring up my
Red
secret.
says 9.6.
Okay, good. G Money Batista.
How does this affect the story?
No, it doesn't.
Either way,
it doesn't. But I know this because I know the Secret Wars and I know the first appearance of Claw and I know where that hand was. So, or not a hand was.
You know where that.
No, I don't know where that was. I don't. So that's my point.
That was what says cheese is talking about picky. Malcolm said you want some cheese with that.
All right. So,
hey, Deadpool, wait till you hear Mike right.
All right. So, all in all. I loved it. I think it has definitely a high rewatchability. Who's my buddy with the eye? The priest. What's his name?
Forrest Whitaker?
Forrest Whitaker has to be in every movie, but that's okay. He was
fixed his eye, didn't
they fixed his eye. But I think all in all, it wrapped up well. Oh, this is what I really liked. And poo-poo on you, Nemesis Prime, because what I thought was really good about it was the first 6 minutes, you know how Wakanda came to be. Boom, the meteor drops, the 5 tribes come together, 2,000 or 200 years later. 200 years later.
So all of a sudden the vibranium became mystical?
No, but I'm going to talk about vibranium
that was one of my gripes.
Vibranium and adamantium too. I'm going to talk about that. No, but my point is now you have the history of it, whereas in DC movies, I got to wait 90 minutes to know that Thomas Wayne and Martha Kent were murdered, or
that Batman and Superman had the same mom's name.
Yes, right, exactly. Or the giant, the big Boy Scout from the other planet, came here, right? I mean, so it was great. Boom, this is the point. This is how we got it. Let's go. Loved it. High rewatchability, I think. So all in all, I love it. I'm happy I bought this book. I definitely think it's going to stay in value. I think it's got room to grow. So that's my Black Panther. That's my write-up, and I'm sticking to it. What do you say?
I loved it.
Okay. You saw it first.
What says you?
Yeah.
I did see it first.
You did see it first. Cheers.
I learned this from watching TiVo's show.
New drinking game.
I didn't know.
Drink when someone swears.
I didn't know the director directed Michael B. Jordan in Fruitvale Station and Creed.
Yep, okay. All right, interesting.
So he followed. Michael B. Jordan, to me, killed it.
Okay.
I loved Killmonger.
You like Killmonger, okay.
He wasn't a villain. He was just...
He's Johnny Storm, though.
Oh, well, that's going to be my gripe.
Okay, go ahead.
I already had this gripe on Runaways.
They don't even need to see it.
I won't. I refuse.
Yeah.
Runaways had Julian McMahon.
Yep.
Dr. Doom as
Yeah,
whatever the villain in this.
Right. Okay.
Can they not find any new actors to play?
I don't know. You're right. Good point.
I don't know.
Okay.
The
All right.
antagonist. That's what Marcus calls him.
Yeah. Yep. So
I bet. He was just misguided.
Misguided. All
but
right.
he killed it. I loved
like him?
Killmonger.
All right.
I loved Killmonger.
He did a good job.
Jungle Action 6 is my next.
That's your big purchase. Oh, all right.
It's moving up my.
What's your grade?
I gave it a 9.6.
That's awesome.
I love it.
All right.
I love it.
I do want to say
the
something.
only other gripe I had is the end credits scene. For anybody, the very end, they showed
Bucky.
They went to the building. No, not the post credits.
So
The end.
at
The very end of the movie,
Yeah.
they went to the building. They showed the spaceship flying away, and the kids saw it. And then in the mid credits scene, well, what can a farmer's country show us? Well, they should have put that at the end, and then put the end scene in the middle, and that's what they showed them.
Okay.
I'm nitpicking there, but
you are nitpicking. All right, that's okay.
Besides the character, actor,
when that's the stuff you have that's wrong with it, then that means it's a pretty good movie.
Oh, it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
All
right.
There was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with it technically. Just a couple little
quirks. There you
couple
go.
little nicks on the corner.
All right.
All credit scenes are pointless with this one. Deadpool.
Agreed. I agree to you on that.
What did you say?
The
Otis Store 33 joint.
Otis Store. What's up, man? I'm glad you joined on.
Cassini?
Yeah. All right.
The post credits were
Yeah. There you
So
go.
there's
I like the post
Yep.
credits.
So there's two. Right? There's two.
So we got.
What I do want to say though is the Jungle Action books. If you collect those books actually follow a progression. So they're just not single issue books. So that whole Jungle Action run is fluid from book 1 through I think 12 or 16.
I think 5 is the first
Don't get why
Black
it's called
Panther.
Jungle Action.
Right, yeah. Well, who knows? You know what I mean?
Well,
I can't say
who
that.
knows?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I don't know. So, we did talk about Black Panther. We do want to talk about a few shows. I've been watching Supergirl. Love the fact that they're trying to incorporate the...
See, look at this. People know me. The soundtrack is pretty sick. That Booliger. Roger needs to listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kendrick Lamar. We haven't seen that on the Hip Hop Variance.
Thank you, Dan Booliger,
All
for
right, there you go.
recognizing.
Kendrick Lamar, the second best.
So, we've been talking about all the WB shows.
All right,
And we do want to jump in because right now there's a pretty unique show. And I've only watched the first episode, but I really, really enjoyed it. Roger's been watching it pretty regularly, and that is Black Lightning.
Yeah, is anybody out there watching right now? Is anybody else watching Black Lightning?
Yes, give us some
Just let
thumbs
us
up
know.
if you are.
And while we wait for those, I'm going to give my opinion. I really like the show, not necessarily because it's another superhero show.
Yeah.
Because it's different in the other shows, as it's actually attacking some of the problems in urban America when it comes to the drugs and the way people treat gangs. Like, they just kind of dismisses it's just the way things are.
Right.
I don't know a lot about Black Lightning.
Ready to binge watch. Good.
You know,
That's watching
I
it.
definitely
Nice.
I don't know a lot about Black Lightning.
Okay.
And I know that the TV show picks up 9 years after Black Lightning actually came to be in existence, and the way they decided to do the show is Black Lightning became a principal at a school, and he decided he wanted to save his community by getting them to be good people in school. The problem, what happens as the show goes on, is he makes those kids good people, but once they leave high school, they don't got much else to turn to.
Right.
So they end up becoming bad people anyways.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where he realizes that, yeah, he helped the kids out in school, but if they didn't go to college and they had to get jobs, Black Lightning is still needed.
Correct.
And I think it's just a different way of attacking the storyline, attacking the superhero portion of it, because he was fixing the community before he was a superhero as far as the show is concerned.
Right.
Now, I don't, like I said, I don't know. I mean, I Googled Black Lightning to see what, the storyline
I haven't read those books
was.
in years. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and I think one of the things I got a kick out of it was the original concept for Black Lightning. He was called, like, Black...
Don't say Vulcan.
No, it wasn't. No. It was Black Bomber.
Okay, right.
Okay,
Right.
and the concept of the story was he was a white racist
Really?
whose superpower turned him into a black superhero.
Okay.
Gee, I wonder why that didn't take off. I'm not quite sure why that didn't take off, but of course it didn't go. And then the creator was like, "Can we go with Black Lightning?" Yeah. He wasn't around a lot. He didn't have a big series. He made some.
It was a different time.
I don't know if they're going to turn Black Lightning into.
Right, Black Vulcan from the Super Friends.
They couldn't use Black Lightning. I don't know.
Right, yeah, I'm sure. Who knows? You know,
Yeah, that could have been a copyright thing. I don't know if they're going to use Black Lightning to put a step forward into creating an outsider show.
Right.
You know, because there's not a lot of content for Black Lightning.
Right.
Which, you know what, when they create the show and it's 9 years later, then they can do anything they want. Correct. Because you're not following any kind of story arc in the comics. But if they were to use that as a stepping stone to the Outsiders or something like that, that would be really, really cool.
That would be pretty
Anybody
cool.
else watching it?
Yeah, so we're going to get some binge watching. Fet's watching it. Deadpool is going to watch it. So I just want to talk about Black Lightning. I've only watched the first episode. So I just want you guys to know, I don't know if you guys know this in the real world, but I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. I worked in the inner city. I worked in a juvenile detention center. Right now I work in a suburban town. So I've worked the gamut. I grew up in the inner city. I definitely understand the value of education. I've definitely seen gangs in my young age. I've seen gangs as an adult, and I've seen the evolution of gangs up until now. So watching and being around society today and seeing the bad things that are happening in the inner city and things that are happening, Black Lightning really, really pulled me in. Now, if it wasn't a superhero story, this guy would be a great principal.
And it would still be a great story. I think that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
If he wasn't a superhero, if the whole thing was what he was doing for the kids as a principal, it's still a great show.
Unbelievable.
Still a great show.
Now, I am the type of person that, as far as education goes, I have to believe in my leader. I have to believe in a strong principal. If this guy was my boss, my principal, I'd do anything this guy said.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want me to do Saturday detention? I'll do it. You want me to coach this sport? I'll do it. You want me to do this? Yes. Because he has that type of personality. It also brought on social issues that are very, very relevant to this day and things that I've seen in my past life. For example, and I don't mean to get too political, but we have trafficking of youth, whether it's sexually trafficking or drug trafficking or stuff like that, how young children, 14, 15-year-old kids, are being manipulated by big gangbangers, big drug dealers to follow what they want to do. And I have seen that firsthand in my work environment, and I understand how relevant that is and how prevalent it is in our society. Yeah. And to see this in a show and to see it pretty cool. Come to the forefront.
I don't mean it's cool, but it's actually attacking something that no other shows have in a way of, well, it's still a superhero show, so you're getting both.
Right. And so you're seeing it. So in middle America, if you didn't know that in hotel rooms, young children are being trafficked and being put on drugs and being forced to do things that they
one
really
here in Connecticut just caught on fire.
Yes, exactly.
This well-known sex trafficking hotel right on the Pearl Turnpike.
Right, local to us. You know what I mean? Burning down.
Caught on fire the other day.
So that's why I really like Black Vulcan. I really can't wait to watch. I really can't. Chris Shavers on YouTube. What's up, buddy? So yes. So I do think that that's really important. I can't wait to watch it all. So Black Lightning is getting high praise.
Fett says the artist who drew Black Lightning in the 80s lives 20 minutes from him.
Really? Nice. All right, fellas. That's some original artwork. All right.
Hey, you get him on the show.
Yeah, Danny for Vegas, stuff down. So we got a lot of people out right now. Yeah, what's that? As far as what's...
Speaking of artists that live near.
Yeah, so Howie Porter is doing The Flash right now. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he's absolutely killing The Flash. Howie Porter is a guy from Connecticut right now. He's doing great work on The Flash. Please give him a follow. Back in the day, we used to hang out. You know, our memory is kind of skewed from the 80s, but, you know, it's pretty funny. But I'm glad he's being very successful right now. So definitely doing well on that. So,
and one of the other things, if you're watching now, and we're going to put this out, the way we've been doing this, we've been doing giveaways.
Yeah.
And from now on, I'm going to take content from our show and ask a question on Instagram. And whoever answers first is going to get a free book. So instead of doing it on a show where we appreciate you guys being on here.
That's your giveaway.
That's my giveaway.
Right.
I didn't bring your name into it. I appreciate people coming on and off, so I don't want the giveaways to be exclusive to 20 minutes in.
YouTube on the TV. That's great. We're on the big TV.
All right.
There's a little lag, but that's all right. All right, so that's our TV
We must
and movie
be ugly
talk.
on the big screen. Remember, the camera adds 10 pounds.
That's right. 20 for this one. All right, so that's awesome. Those were the two things that we wanted to talk about as far as movies and TVs. Now I want to talk about some of the books that I picked up. This is going to be real quick. It's going to go very quick. I have
Big hitter.
I have a few books that I picked up, and we're going to talk about those. I actually did win a raffle. I won. Shout out to Ex-Illusionary right now. But I do want to give a shout out to Chris Shaver. He's got 2 good raffles going on. Please jump in on those if you're around. Follow him. Those are good $10 raffles. But I won a $10 raffle with Ex-Illusionary.
$10 mini, right?
No, it wasn't even a mini. It
Oh,
wasn't a mini. There was one spot left. I took the one hole. It's in this box. This book actually came from Hawaii.
In that box?
Well, I opened it up. I didn't want to.
How do you open the box?
Well, I just started ripping it up. Well, very abruptly. So this actually
Man claws.
Can you zoom in on that?
Look at this. I opened this up, so right.
Hulk smash!
Hulk smash. So this is very funny. So Ex-Illusionary. I just want to say this. I'm a very superstitious gambler. I like specific numbers. I like 1, 13, 11, and 21. I also like to follow certain things. So Ex-Illusionary was raffling this book off. He said he needed a closer. The one hole was left. There wasn't many spots. That's it. So I jumped on it, and I won it. So on my way to work, 7:15 in the morning, he's doing it live. Oh, it's all right.
Rain.
It's all right. So this is keeping with the FF. This book...
FF, I sense a theme.
Yeah, I tell you. So this book I did buy one spot for $10. One spot for $10, and it is FF number 67. All right. The relevance of this book is
first cameo.
It's saying. It says the origin and first appearance of him. And Warlock in cameo. So this book is a 7.0.
Deadpool. He's a newbie opening boxes. The rest of us have knives in our pockets. Hulk smash.
So this is a 7.0 off-white to white pages. So this follows along with the story arc of him, Adam Warlock, and all those things that you see here. So for $10, I actually do own this book raw, but for $10, I'll take it. I'll keep it. It's a 7.0 off-white to white. Looks really nice. I do have it in a raw. But I like the Cocoon because
that's the one I'm missing out of the whole quartet.
You say it's not.
Isn't there an argument about the first appearance of him?
Oh, it's all over the place. We can get a discussion.
I don't know.
No, I mean,
well, it's because he's one on the cover. I don't know. What's the second appearance of the Punisher? Yeah. He's not on the cover of 134.
Well, he never appears in 66. It's just in a Cocoon.
So there we go.
This is a cameo. And Thor 165
is the first appearance of him, right? That's right. So that's Tony Peanuts.
Making it rain. Packing peanuts.
All right. So I'm very happy to add this to my Fantastic Four collection.
For $10.
For $10, you can't beat it. So shout out to Ex-Illusionary for running that raffle.
How many raffles did you lose?
Quite a bit, but we're not going to talk about that. You know, gamblers only tell you when you win. No, not at all.
Listen,
can we just break out the Batman 121?
When you go to the casino, you don't tell how much you lose.
Right, gamblers only tell you when you win. Right.
I mean,
so that's awesome. So that was my big win of the week. So I'm very happy. I've been saving it. So there we go. And I do have 2 other books that I'm going to pick. I picked up. I did pick up Old Man Hawkeye number 2, the Hulk variant edition, done by Terry. What's that? That's going on second print. Really? Done by Terry Dodson. Yeah, so that book I picked up. I've been reading this story arc. I really like it. This story arc, if you're not following it, is before Hawkeye actually goes blind. So it's pretty cool.
So you open the box the way Cap rips apart the logs and the Avengers.
Yes, exactly. Cool. I mean, come on. You know,
that's what Nemesis said.
Yeah. All right. And I did pick up. This is a very funny story about this Batman book. So our local LCS has long boxes and long boxes and long boxes.
Sorry, guys.
And nothing is organized.
Oh,
there was 9.6.
9.2.
9.2 now. Okay. So
the glare was strong in that one.
Okay, it was okay. So digging in them long boxes, he has nothing organized. Pat thinks that it's the greatest marketing scheme ever because you got to look through everything to find everything. Me, I need Xanax to go into that store, so I don't. But while I was there, I did pull up this I did find this Batman 194, which is a very classic cover by Carmen Infantino. Bob Kane did it. This book right here, we've seen this before. I loved it. I was going to put it for Throwdown Thursday, but I passed on it or I got too busy. And in this book, I don't know who is this villain, Pat?
Blockbuster, isn't it?
That's Blockbuster, right. Blockbuster actually, in the story, I started to read it, he fights Solomon Grundy and actually beats Grundy into submission. So, yeah, there you go. Awesome. Good. So he actually beats Grundy into submission, which I thought was pretty crazy. And I haven't read the whole book, but it does give Bob Kane his credits, or Bob Kane does get the credits.
First Blockbuster that pulled us in.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I know there's some DC guys out there that know it. So I picked this book. I don't know if it's first Blockbuster. Does anybody know that?
That's what he's saying.
Oh, all right, first Blockbuster. First I can use it for first
taking
appearance
that word.
Friday. All right. So yeah, so I did pick this book up, and I just want you to know that Pat, who digs in them long boxes quite often, passed on this book. He left it there. It wasn't up.
Some with that light next time.
Yeah, it wasn't up to his standards.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So yeah.
So you bought that at Arts?
I bought it at Arts. I found it at Arts. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
He tried to, we'll get into this. He tried to do the, the little kid. Yeah,
look what I got. Look what I got. You didn't get it. All right.
I left it there.
So now we actually have 4 guys on YouTube. We got 8 guys on Instagram. So
the way you guys are going, we're gonna have to be on YouTube for a mic.
I know. All right. So now I do want to get into my grail. This is a grail that was hand delivered to me last night. Shout out to Dennis, aka 4 Comics. This is the first book on my list. I've been after this book for 2 years. I wanted it. I was looking at it at a 3.5 to 4.5. I looked at one that was signed. I just couldn't make the right deal.
Yeah, me look at some.
I had Pat hunting one down. I was doing a lot of work for this book, and then finally, 4 Comics had posted it and talked about it. Why I like this book, and it's all over Instagram right now. So thank you very much that actually liked and commented. So it is the first book off my list. It's FF13, the first appearance of the Watcher and the Red Ghost. Who cares? But the Watcher to me was a great character. I grew up watching. Yeah, somebody cares.
Well,
I grew up watching.
You have to finish the What If.
I do have to finish the What Ifs. I do enjoy reading about the Watcher because he's been in so many different stories and he's such a passive character. But the fact that this could be the character that Stan Lee plays in all Marvel movies. Zoe, can you just pull out a little bit? You don't have to zoom in anymore. Just pull out, okay?
It's that light.
Yeah, so just leave it like that, okay?
It's
so we're
that
good.
light.
Yeah, it's a light. All right, that's good. So we're just going to leave it like that. And so I'm very happy to own this book at an 8.5, off-white to white pages. Dennis, 4 Comics, came down to Dakota's last night. We chatted up comics for, my God, 2.5 hours, and it was just a great conversation, great comic talk. All the 3 men in the basement were there.
We got the bar. There were people in the bar who had no idea what we were talking about at first. That were like, "Can I see the book?
Can I see the book? What book?
What are you guys talking about? I'm so excited for you."
Right. I know this is a very funny story. So there's a guy that comes in here pretty often. He actually owns the property that the restaurant is built on, and he's a big investor. And I've been telling him for years that comics are a great investment, and he's missing out if he wanted to invest. So last night we were talking about numbers, and we're not just talking hundreds of dollars now. We're talking numbers with commas. And he's listening intently because he kind of does that. And as he was leaving, he looked at me and he goes, "Everett, you've been telling me about this for years. I can't believe you guys are actually really talking about this." So I'm like, "Dude, I'm not talking to talk. I'm 47 years old. I talk all day. I'm not going to have conversation just to have a conversation. I've been telling you about this as far as investing. But that's the pass on it. This is a great book. I'm so happy. 8.5, first Watcher. It's going on a wall at some point. One of my grails. Very happy. That ends my story. All right. What say you?
What say you?
What say you?
What do you got?
All right. I'm gonna show off my variants that I picked up this week.
Nice.
Normally I just show off variants that I like a lot, and I'll do a couple at a time. But I realized this week I picked up like 5 of them, so we're gonna show them off quickly. I bought this one on Fleabay, Wolverine Origins, Marvel variant. I love the American flag, even though the stars are on the wrong side. The American flag on his face.
Nuke, right?
Yeah.
Is he still alive or is he dead in the comics?
I'm not
Well, he
quite
must be still
sure.
alive.
I'm not sure if he's still.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not quite sure why they drew the American flag with the stars on the wrong side. I don't know if there's a reason behind it, or if they just literally screwed up the negative on the book.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I picked up. This is one of my weekly pickups from Midtown Comics.
Nice.
This is a Superman 75 Greg Horn Virgin cover. I know I showed this on Instagram, but I love that. I love Virgin covers. I love when there's no words on there. All you see is the art. It's almost like having a nice little print. Yeah,
I love Virgin.
love it. Love the Virgin covers. Love it. Love it. Love it. And this one here is just beautiful.
All right.
It's on a rush because Pat's upset.
All right. What do you got right here?
Oh, hip-hop.
Here's a surprise. I picked up a new
variant?
hip-hop variant. I found this at my local LCS. I couldn't believe it because it's one of those ones that's not around. Pimp C takeoff of well, obviously it's Deadpool Mercs for Money with a cover swipe of Pimp C's album. What can you say? You gotta love the hip hop.
Love it.
Gotta love the hip hop.
That is Black Panther.
So I got this Black Panther 166.
Spooky just joined. What's up, buddy? Thanks for jumping in.
This is a 125 I got in Portland.
Maine.
I had to take a road trip to Portland, Maine, and I texted these two guys and said, "Where are the comic book shops?"
Yeah.
I only had time to go to Newberry.
Boss for this?
No, I was all by myself.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
Yeah,
I went. Pat said they
said,
both
"Look
said
in the back.
Casablanca.
Look in the back.
Right. They both said Casablanca. I didn't
I
have
said
time to go
Newberry.
there. Then he said Newberry, and apparently the Newberry in Portland, behind all the regular comics, anything that's boarded are all their variants, their 125s, 150s, and sure as shit, I go in there, I'm looking, I'm like regular
look
books, and
behind
I'm
you.
looking behind everything, and I can see the bag and boards, and I'm pulling them out, and they're just beautiful. I mean, anything from 125, 150s, 100s, beautiful variants.
Yeah.
If I'd have had $500, I would have had a lot better books than
Deadpool.
than this
It's
one.
good to see some Deadpool now.
Yeah. There was a Punisher variant
Deadpool.
that was like
Yeah.
$70. Oh man, it was so beautiful, and I just didn't have the cash.
$70
So,
for a Punisher variant?
Yeah, it was like a 1 in 100 or
Right, okay. All right, this is great.
there we go.
Okay. Well, we got
Yes,
two
I'm
good
going
ones.
to show this.
No, show the other one.
No,
first.
that was my favorite.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
I thought this one was.
So I bought this off of eBay too.
Oh, Deep Brundage is on. That's awesome. We got a good crew right now. Got a lot of comic guys.
The other one I bought on. Oh, this one. Okay. So I bought this off of eBay because
So we can
I have.
turn it down a little bit. It's okay.
Listen. Nobody wants to admit it, but that's your favorite character from Star Wars.
I too.
That is your
Yeah.
favorite
Wicket.
character
Yeah.
from Star Wars. This is Wicket. I have a dog that I have a Shih Tzu, when the hair grows out, looks just like Wicket.
Wicket. Did you put him in a costume?
I did put her in a Wicket costume. I actually posted it on Instagram if you're on there. This is the Star Wars Shattered Empire. It's pretty new, but I mean, come on, it's Wicket. Seriously.
Yeah, I love it.
If your heart doesn't melt for Wicket, you're not human. This one I picked up. This is the second one I picked up in Maine at Newberry Comics. It's another 125.
1 in 25,
and
really?
It's a 1 in 25, and I gotta say, out of all the villains out there, Ursus, as far as the Planet of the Apes go, with him there and the Capitol, in the background, smashed, destroyed. I love this. It's a Virgin cover. If this thing was $50, this thing was $100. If it was $200, I would have bought it either way.
That's like a frameable thing. That's like a poster quality.
As soon as
comic.
I found this, as soon as I saw this, I was like, please don't be $100, because I knew I was buying it.
Deadpool is that Ewok scared me as a kid.
And Ursus should have too. So those are the variants that I picked up in this past week. I never considered myself a variant whore until I met Nemesis.
Right.
So
we blame him?
Well, I blame him for the label, for the tag. But I have a long box, completely full, going on to my second of nothing but variants of all the stuff I bought because you just see a book, you think it's a cool cover, I gotta have it.
So we can tilt the camera down a little bit. It seems like it's cutting off our heads. Yeah, there you go.
My turn?
Yeah, so... Oh, this is...
The half your book, half your box.
No, actually, I'm going with the
What are we going to go with?
random act of kindness first.
All right.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
nice.
All right, now I'll do
All right.
the yeah.
So,
And I'll do the CGC grade.
all right.
Then he joined the dark side. I'm going to slide out, actually. I'm going to help Zoe out.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take this place.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
I'll go off for a while.
Okay, you gonna be
Oh,
in?
all of a sudden, no, you can't hear. Look at your books.
All right, so I haven't been on Instagram as long as these two guys. And random act of kindness. Kevin Henderson, in a random chat, just like I'm gonna send out some books to you.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect.
The Comic Karma.
I didn't know what to expect. Holy cow!
You haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure that's good.
Yeah. Walker's the short box is coming.
The short box is coming.
Yeah.
Couple prints. Gambit, I love that print. Random.
Yeah.
But two prints.
You see 'em?
Yeah.
Top
yeah.
loaders.
Nice.
Punisher,
Yeah.
Clayton Crane when he becomes Clayton Crane cover when he becomes War Machine. Punisher, War Machine. Couple in ticklers, the Doctor Strange with Donny Case's writing, and the Moon Knight Bill Sienkiewicz.
Bill Sienkiewicz. I got to get him.
Yeah,
All right.
and shipped in Mylars and double boarded and
We came for the short box.
the short box is
Don't
coming.
believe it.
Oh, Mr. Hip Hop.
Oh, all of a sudden.
Look what else he sent me.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, right.
Doctor
All of a
Strange.
sudden.
He's the cross.
Hip Hop variant homage to
I used to do a hip hop.
Dr. Dre.
Spotlight.
Yeah, we
That was
missed-
one of them.
We missed it. I want an M&M.
Right.
It's coming. It's coming.
And then the creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme. This is it. Look at this.
Defenders 4 from Frankie's
Frankie's
Comics.
Comics.
Delado version.
Yeah.
9.8 CGC slabbed.
Yeah. And why do we like gelatos and Autos Grotto?
Because
We don't get to say Auto that much.
But
Delano at the Auto
honestly, any one of these books would have been enough, and he sent them all.
Right.
I mean, KP Henderson. Anything I say is kind of shortchanging you, so I'm trying not to say too much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome.
So now on to the short box.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, before the short box.
Oh boy. Hey!
There's before
I'm juggling. Look at I'm gonna superimpose balls when we edit this. I'm juggling.
And then hanging out with
That awkward
And
pause.
then hanging out with these guys.
Yeah.
Got me into statues, looking at
Oh,
displays.
that's our fault.
Displays.
4 years ago, I had 3 comics. It's your fault. Probably.
I have a couple pops. But today they had a buy one get one half off. But
The short
I bought
box
a
tees.
Power Girl
Power
pop
Girl. Love
Power
it.
Girl, really?
because it's gonna go with my first appearance of the Power Girl.
Right, I love it.
If I ever get a display.
It's the anatomically correct.
Blend Nemesis Pride for that, baby.
I gotta love.
But this is what I bought. That's the one I bought for half
Lobo?
off.
Is that
The
for
Lobo Bloody Variant. No, it's when because I know you have 3 copies of Omega Man. It's when you give me Omega Man 3. We got a trade worked out later.
I love the Lobo.
But this is the Lobo Bloody Variant. I guess PX previews exclusive.
Yeah.
But Power Girls to go with my. I don't think they make Power Girl statues. Because everybody's got to put a statue with their first
He's a short
appearance.
box whore. That's a great
Right.
hashtag, Walkers. Short box whore.
Oh,
short box for it.
All
right.
But it's raised up.
All right.
You want me to do these before we do the short box?
Let
Let me get the CGC.
Oh yeah, do your season.
All right.
Oh my God, these guys are gonna go crazy.
All right. So
All right. So
I got a pen here. So I have.
Make the peasants wait.
So I have 4 books. I'm sending to CGC. And so I'm going to show them, and I'm going to guess what they're going to come back graded. So first one I'm sending out is Venom Lethal Protector.
9.6.
Yeah, I'm going to say
9.6, 9.8.
9.6 to 9.8.
Oh, jeez.
All right. If that thing comes back less than a 9.6, I'll be mad.
This is really okay.
Okay, I will be mad. This thing, I mean, there's not a thing wrong with it. You look at this cover, it's bright red, it's folded perfectly, it's never been read. I bought it. I actually bought it from the same time I bought the Spider-Man, the Batman 181, the first appearance of Poison Ivy. I bought it at the same time. It's kind of like, yeah, let me get that too. It wasn't until I got it home that I realized how perfect this is. This book looks like a cheeseburger on a commercial that they spray with water to make it look perfect. All right, second one I'm sending in is Amazing Spider-Man 134. This is the first appearance of the tarantula. And in my book, in my personal book, this is the second appearance of the Punisher. He's in the book. He's not on the cover, but he's in the book. So, second appearance of the Punisher, first appearance of the tarantula. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say this is gonna come back a 9.0. Okay. So that's a 134.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna say 9.0, and if it comes back less than an 8.5, I'm gonna be pissed.
Okay. There you go. Wait till they drop it. I don't know. So we're pretty good with the lag right
Less
now.
than an
right?
8.0, you're going
Our
to be
drinking
pissed?
game
Yeah.
tonight's kind of failing.
Yeah, less than 8.0, I'm gonna be pissed.
All right.
All right.
So,
So
8.0, you're all right.
yeah, I mean, I don't really, what are we gonna do? I bought this at Terrificon last year. There's some spine ticks. I've had it pressed already from Impressive Comics. Excuse me.
Bless you.
So I got it for a great price. Had it pressed. He did a great job on the pressing. I've been sitting on it for 2 years. I'm finally going to send it out. I think this is going to come back a 9 or a 9.2.
Okay.
I'm gonna say a 9 or a 9.2. That's first
Nightwing.
9.0 or 9.2. If it comes back and under a 9.0, I'll be pissed.
9.0.
What do you say, Pat?
Yeah.
I say 9.0.
Yeah. If it comes, if it doesn't come
The
back
other
a
one I
9,
think you're off.
if
The
it
other
does,
one I say 8.0.
if it doesn't come back a 9.0 or better, I'll be upset.
Okay.
So the last book I'm sending in is
This is a
X-Men
tough one, in my
266, first appearance of Gambit. The problem with this book is it looks nice. It's another one that I got for a great price at our LCS. I sent it out to have it pressed. The problem with it is I don't know how CGC takes off for the fact that the cover doesn't cover the pages. Does that make sense?
Spine roll?
No, I don't know if it's spine.
I don't know if
It's
they
just the
consider
wrap
a
of the book
spine
itself.
roll.
I don't
Some
know.
of the books just happen to come that way.
Yeah.
The
There's
spine,
definitely something off.
yeah, the spine itself is perfect on this thing.
Okay.
Okay, and there's no ticks on it. The one thing is you can see all the pages on the right
Pages,
side.
Yeah, I don't know. That has something to do with.
So if
The way
you
it
take
bounds.
away that part of it, this thing should be a 9.4 or a 9.2.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna say a 9.2 or 9.4.
I'm going 8.5.
Nemesis Prime is calling you out and saying that the X-Men annual is actually Gambit's first appearance.
5 panels.
Five
panels.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Full,
Nemesis.
full.
Well, hello.
Thank you.
This brings me back to this.
Right. Exactly.
As a second appearance of Punisher.
Right.
But we don't get to drive that. So,
It's what the market decides.
Yeah.
I mean,
Storm says a misread.
try telling
If-
people Hulk 181 isn't his first appearance.
if this doesn't come back
It's not his first
a
appearance.
9.2, I'll be mad.
Agree. Restored.
So if this doesn't come back a 9.2, I'll be
Honest
pissed.
Storm
Alright,
says
so do you want the short box?
It's a wrap. Yeah. So people are crawling for this. So yeah, that's good. I wonder if by Walking Dead he could get into that too, but that's okay.
What? You were Walking Dead? What?
Well, no, the CGC submission.
Oh,
I mean,
what? Did he research the prices yet?
No.
Some people are busy, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, so what do we got? We got
You
Scarlet
can't
Spider.
respond. Too busy to respond. I'm too busy.
Very busy.
very busy. Very busy.
All right, so it's my turn.
Yeah, you're up. You're ready
I'm
to
up. You know, I'm camera shy. All right, short box.
go. The short box. How long?
Well, this one's actually right in line with the DC ones.
Okay.
It's not as long as the Venomverse one. So, yeah. I guess Marvel caught up to DC. These are all the books I have bought since our last show.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Live video paused.
New Amazing Spider-Man, Civil War, Michael Turner.
Iron Spider-Man?
We have pause.
Yeah, it's okay. Keep going.
What do you mean I'm going to keep going?
No, it's
There, you're
okay.
good.
It'll
That's
come
good
on.
now.
It'll
That's
be-
good now. I see. It's good.
All right. I have these chronologically listed. Our last show was Friday the 9th. Sunday the 11th was a rainy day. We have a little... Around the corner from my house, we have Target. What opened up was a little collectible store. I'll go there, see if they got anything. They go, no. But our store in Southington has comics. I'll go down there. Didn't find anything. But on the way back, I stopped in a shop in Bristol.
Let me see. What you got there? Oh, nice.
Weapon X got a young variant.
Gotta love Scotty Young. Come on. Whether it's always the same type of, you gotta love it.
Then I found a Delato variant.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Avengers 675. I think this is the... there was like a part... There was a color and a black and white.
And a black and white.
Of course, it happens during the short box.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Yeah. All right.
Forget-
Okay, plus Spider-Gwen 24.
Yeah.
The variant, the Venomized Vulture variant.
Okay.
You know, so I like that. Oh, this one, I know Nemesis is going to like this one. Batman, the New 52, number 2.
He's playing that video game while he said
This is the second number 2 I got, but they're both the second prints.
Right.
Or the second covers. Yeah, they're the second covers, but I still don't have the original cover of this one.
Really?
So, you know, but I like that, you know, for the price.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Never saw Batman 40 third print, so I had to pick that up.
Now, what's the relevance of that?
It's just a third print,
Oh.
but I have the first print, so
So, you know, the
now I
second
gotta
print?
find the second print.
God.
I sold my Nightwing tie-in to Teen Titans 12,
Yeah.
so I picked that up at cover price. Oh, and then this was from the just Thanos 1.
Right. Those Thanos books are crazy right
Yeah.
now.
Well, that's Thanos 15.
How come all of a sudden
Where
this
did I
thing's
get
freezing
these?
on us? All of
Where
a
did I
sudden.
get all the
We've
Batman
been good
annuals?
so far.
What's
Where did I get the Batman? Oh, then I went to most excellent comics in Enfield.
Okay.
Most excellent.
Most excellent. Is that
You have
the-
high hopes
That's
with
the
that.
name of the shop. Most excellent comics.
You have high hopes with that place.
But they had good. Like I knew they had Batmans that I was looking for, but and then you look at the, you're knocking off the Batman issues. Everybody forgets about the annuals. Well, I knocked off annual 24, 22, 21.
Yeah, we
I
got new guys
knocked
jumping
off,
online. Deadly Donut. Thanks for jumping online. and
knocked
watching
off a
us.
bunch of
Yeah.
annuals
Talk about
there.
comics, see?
Everyone else says, hey.
That's it.
385.
I
Then I
say,
went
hey.
to Bob's in Springfield.
Right.
How do you travel this
I
much?
crossed the
How do you travel this much?
Seriously.
I crossed the state border.
600 miles a week going to comic
You
shops.
don't even drive for a living.
Dastardly and Muttley to sink of
Oh,
the skull.
come on. Let me see this.
Dastardly and Muttley.
Hard to find.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very hard to find, huh? For sale? To a
Negative.
friend?
Not yet.
To a friend that likes Sega
Negative. Negative.
Dastardly and Muttley. Oh, that is
Did
classic.
they give you that Star Wars book?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Then I already had this one, but I always pick. I love the Just Go corner boxes.
Yeah, love it.
Corner box Thanos. Oh, the rock and roll variant. I think this is the only rock and roll variant I was missing.
He is 1/16 through that long of short box.
Sorry.
Stay
All-
tuned the
all
next
the
3 hours.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
I just love that cover. Oh, okay, so that was Springfield.
Long pause. It's alright.
That was